What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I want to talk about, personally, my favorite color in the game of Dragon Ball Super, and that is blue. Ever since set 1, I've been a blue player. Yeah, I've played a little bit of green, yellow, red, black, but blue has always been my go-to. It's been my favorite color to play. I love the playstyle. It always seems so varied. There's aggro blue decks, there's control, there's ramp. I love the flow of blue decks. So today I want to go over my personal 5 favorite blue decks that I'm currently playing, as well as a blue deck I'm excited to play in the future, and one I am very much let down about. Let's start off with obvious, these darn notifications that I can't turn off. Let's start off with the obvious number 1, which is Gamma. Gamma is one of my favorite decks, if not my favorite deck to play right now, because of its synergy. It works, it flows so well. I mean, that's a given. We all know Gamma's archetype with blue and green androids is phenomenal. It's one of the big 4. It's so much fun to play. I highly recommend it for anyone who wants a solid deck to play. It's guaranteed. It's probably blue's most guaranteed deck. You know what I mean? It just flows the best out of any blue deck, it seems. This is my last build that I had for a webcam tournament. We got the Z deck and the side deck. Now, of course, not all these will have a side deck, but they all will have a Z deck at least, because that is focusing on the newer format. Next up, we have SS2 Trunks Envoy of Justice returns, the Reboot Trunks deck. I was playing this quite a bit after Dragon Ball Super Regionals, or Nationals, sorry, where I was tired of Gamma. So I put it down and I picked this up, and I had a lot of fun with it. A lot of people did feel like this deck or this leader could be a replacement for Crimson. Unfortunately, that did not work out so well, but I still think it is an amazing deck. It has great synergy with the front side being able to, whenever it swings in, look at top 5 for a Earthling or Saiyan, both blue with a cost of 4 or less, or a Unison with a cost of 2. So, just great synergy options. And it's Awakened side being able to draw on attack. At the end of turn, switch one of your mono blue energy to active mode. It can't be crit, which is a huge thing for this deck. It's very combo heavy, and yeah, I mean, the Z deck's gonna be basically the same. Kind of just thrown together sideboard. But yeah, I mean, the deck works great around 1-drops, being able to draw a lot, combo a lot. Working with the 5-drop Z Vegito battle card is amazing. It's one of those decks you can really just. It takes a lot of thought to run this deck, I feel like. But those who can figure it out, I have a feeling you're gonna love it. It can be great mid-range, it can be aggressive. It's overall an incredibly solid deck. Next we have Soul Striker, the Reboot Soul Striker, to be more precise. Soul Striker is one of my absolute favorite leaders, if not my favorite leader in the game. I just love it. Its simplicity of, well, I guess I shouldn't say simplicity. It's kind of simple, kind of not. You have the choice of, on the front side, either when you swing in, you either draw one or untap one, depending on the situation. That's awesome. It did lose its ability to awaken early with having a unison at a unison of 3 on board. I disagree I disagree on the errata. It never needed it. It was perfectly fine the way it was. Especially right after that, we got Gamma, and Gamma just, as you know, started owning the blue meta. So it does only awaken if you have 4 or less life, which means you have to get down to 4 life, whether it be cards like Awakening Talent Pan or letting your opponent hit you a bunch. But once on the backside, the ability to draw 1 and switch up to 2 mono blue energy to active mode is so good. I love it. And at the end of your turn, switch one of your blue Unison cards and switch it to active mode. This really was supposed to go with the Go Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black Unison, but I mean, it's not a very good Unison. You could swap this with this out for the Grade 8 Raditz Unison. That's blocker. That's pretty neat to go with that ability. But I mean, this is really just a means to an end if you can't get this out. But yeah, it's once again a very combo-centric deck that is going to heavily rely on you attacking and being able to see the cards you need to combo with, but you're constantly going to be drawing a bunch of cards, untapping energy. Now, some of the new tech that works great in this deck, the Son Goku and Oob Newfound Journey being a 1-drop if you have 3 or more energy. And then when you play this, you can bottom deck a card with a cost of 5 or less. I'm sorry, not bottom deck it. You can bounce a card with a cost of 5 or less back to your opponent's hand. Then look at the top 5 to grab a Earthling or World Tournament card, both with a cost of 4 or less, and add it to your hand. And it's a dual attack with 15k power. It's a solid card. And there's not a whole lot of Earthlings you can grab off this. I mean, you can grab the Krillin, which, by the way, Krillin, I think it's a really cool card in the deck that not a lot of people are using. It's a 1-drop, essentially, if you have 3 or more energy. And when it's played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less and bottom deck it. The rest of its abilities don't matter, but essentially it's a 1-drop, 15k bottom deck card. It's cool. It's neat. You can search it off of the Goku and Oob. You can search off your pans. Both pans here. It's neat. I like it. It also is one of the few blue Z decks. One of the few blue cards that has a Z leader. I think Goku, Android 18, and the new Goku Black all have Z leaders, but I feel like blue doesn't get a whole lot of them, unless I'm forgetting one. But this deck is more of a mid-range deck. It's not going to be as, I don't think it's as combo heavy as Trunks, but in some ways it can be, if that makes sense. But Soul Striker is absolutely still an amazing deck. I would love if they got rid of their errata, but, you know, we all can't make good decisions, so. Son Gohan, Former Glory Regained. I think this is the absolute best deck to have came out of set 19. It is incredibly simple. It is just an aggro blue deck, which was unheard of for the most part. The object of this deck is just swing, 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 combo, combo, combo. It's such a fun deck. It's a glass cannon, no lie, but it is a fun glass cannon. You can only have it up to 3 energy, so it's an even more strict version than the SS3 Goku leader. When this card attacks, draw 1. If your life is at 5 or less, or you have a blue Z energy Z battle card with a cost of 2 or more and superhero in its name, switch 2 of your energy to active mode and add cards from your life to F5. You play the Vegeta on your turn 2, and then you can awaken. You still only get 3 energy on its backside. If all of your energy is mono blue, when one of your blue battle cards is added to your Z energy, switch 1 of your energy to active mode. So you can tap everything out, combo with something, restand in energy. Once per turn, activate main or battle. Draw cards until you have 3 or more in hand. So you can essentially combo your entire hand, wait for your opponent to, attack you on the kickback, and then draw 3. And the whole point of this deck is you don't really want to have anything that's like +1 combo in this deck. Everything, for the most part, is 0 cost, except the secret rare. Beyond that, I mean, it's just making the most out of your 3 energy. The Goku and Vegeta lets you combo cards from the drop area. The Goku and Oob just is another 1-drop 15k attacker with dual attack. Deluge of Power gives all of your blue, if it's used in a combo with a blue card, it gives an additional 5k, so free 10k combo power. A lot of these cards search for other cards. It's a very fun tempo deck, and if you catch your opponent off guard, you can seriously ruin their night. You double up on the Goku and Vegeta superhero cards. I want to say SH, but yeah, and then this card's just a fun tech. If you're going to generate so much Z energy, you're just going to pay 1, play another 15k body, discard an extra card from hand. You can give it critical, but we don't play extras. This deck is literally just aggro. and combo to defend yourself. But solid card. I hope this card gets a Z leader. I would love that. And finally, the last leader on my list here is Explosive Power Vegeta. I know, right? It's not SS3 Goku. Yeah, I love that deck, but unfortunately with the hit to Majin Buu, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as good, nearly as good as it used to be. But surprisingly, this deck is really fun. I can't remember who I saw post the initial list about this. I wish I can give them credit, but I honestly do not remember. But this is a really fun deck. Has it won me anything? No, but it's a really just fun archetype. Being Warriors of Universe 7, all Universe 7 cards don't have a specified cost. So being able to put your red cards down and then pay for them, pay red to play blue cards is really neat, because most cards in this deck are still Universe 7. The only ones that are not Universe 7 are the Piccolo, Pans, Gohan, the Pseudo Super Combo, and the Overwhelm. I cannot talk tonight. Overwhelm and the Secret Rare. But most cards in this deck are going to be the Universe 7, which is what you want. Auto, when this card attacks a leader, if you have a Universe 7 card in your energy area, draw one. Easy enough. And this card gains 5k power during the duration of the turn. So this automatically becomes a 15k, essentially you're on your first attack, because you're always going to have a Universe 7 in energy. And also, yeah, remember, we did get some new Universe 7 cards for the Invoker package, but these work incredibly well in this deck, because all it requires is a Universe 7 leader. So Frieza, Pride of the Emperor, and SSB Vegeta, Beyond Full Power, great cards that really boosted this deck up. When your life is at 4 or less, you may choose 2 of your energies, switch them to active mode, and flip this card over. The untap energy is a critical thing here. Permanent. During your turn, if you have 3 or more Universe 7s in your energy area, this card gets 5k power. So on the backside, he becomes a 20k attacker. When this card attacks, draw one. Draw one. You may choose up to 1 of your energy and add it to your hand. If you chose to add a card from your energy to your hand, choose up to 1 card in your hand and add it to your energy. What's super cool about this wording is that you can tap out, use that ability, pick up a tap down energy, and then put down an active energy. So essentially, in a weird way, it's a untap 1, but it gets around a lot of those. It's similar to Gamma, where it gets around a lot of those cards that try to penalize you for untapping your energy. You also get access to a lot of cool Z battle cards, like the Frieza, Resurrected Ambition, is a Universe 7. So it doesn't have all Universe 7 cards have no specified cost. So you can play this even though there's no green in the deck. That's really cool. For some reason, well, I guess I understand this card is not Universe 7 because it was in the Resurrection F arc. But, oh man, that would be super cool if it was. Beerus is not Universe 7 either, but you can use the yellow Super Saiyan Blue Goku that is also a Universe 7. So that can also work. But yeah, this is the build that I played last. I think it's a pretty interesting build. Could it maybe beat someone unsuspectingly? I can agree with that. I think they could. But yeah, those are my top 5 favorite blue decks that I'm currently playing and have messed around with. Now, let me show you the deck that I am excited to play. And that is the new Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black Reboot Leader. Now, keep in mind, my excitement is a little dwindled because they literally created a board wipe for this deck, which was that promo Zeno. So if your opponent, if this deck at any time starts being legitimately good, people are going to sideboard that Zeno card, and this deck will be completely erased from the meta. It's sad, but unfortunately, that's just the facts of it. But this deck looks super neat. I love Goku Black as a character, so I'm absolutely going to be hopping in. This is a quick little deck that I've been messing around with, and honestly, it's pretty neat. The SS3 Gogeta Unison, I was originally going to throw in the baby Unison, but I thought, no, this is a little bit more fun. Because if your leader is a blue Saiyan card and you have 3 or more, if you have a blue Saiyan card in rest mode, your leader cannot take damage in attacks. Well, you know, when we look at our cards here, we have Saiyan. Goku Black is a Saiyan, so if I have any of these bigger cards on board, that ain't no attacks aren't getting past me. Now, it is kind of stupid that the fused Zamasu is considered just a god, even though he is a fused Saiyan. So there should still be some Saiyan in that DNA, but sadly it won't. It's not the case, so that doesn't work as well. Then of course it's like I said, one of the few cards that actually gets a Z leader in the form of SS Rose Goku Black, Dark Purple Sickle. Sorry, I don't like that name. And then you can use the Android 21 in the name of Hunger to help ramp one. Solid card. I don't understand why more people aren't playing it. But yeah, this is the deck I'm super excited for. I'm waiting on mine to arrive in the mail, and I'm going to start testing more with it. Now, let me show you a deck from the next set that I was super excited to play, and I'm no longer excited to play. And unfortunately, that is new Oob and Mr. Boo Resonating Spirits. Unfortunately, this deck is just... I was saying the entire time that the reveals were going on that there needs to be some type of punishment for your opponent to have so much Z energy. And every time they would reveal new stuff, I was like, where's that punishment? Where's that punishment? And unfortunately, it never came. This deck is okay. It is okay at best, and that is what makes me sad. Because I love Oob as a character, I love Boo as a character, so having the two of them together was awesome. There's some really neat cards in this archetype, but unfortunately, it's just poor writing and poor mechanics or archetype decisions have rendered this whole archetype just kind of pointless. If this does well, I will be the first person to admit I was wrong, but all of my testing and a lot of other members in the community have just agreed that it's just not it. I do like how the one-drop Mr. Boo promo is pretty neat with this deck, being a counterattack, negate the attack and play it for 1 energy. And then when you play this card, if your opponent has 2 or less energy, your opponent can attack with battle cards with a cost of 2 or less for the duration of the turn, unless you choose one card in their hand and place it at the top of their deck. So this is a great, like, turn 1. Like, if you know your opponent's going to go ham on you, this might be a neat card to, like, play on their first turn, or first 2 turns, really. The Golden Cooler SCR is great in this deck, but Floodgate kind of unfortunately puts an end to it. This card here. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, it's not this one. It's the Z Leader. If your opponent has 5 or more Z energy, choose it to one of your blue Oob cards under a Mr. Boo and switch it to active mode. That does not happen. Even when, like, cards like this, Union, if your leader is a blue Oob, your opponent has 5 or more Z energy, you may place one Mr. Boo from your drop under this card. The opportunity for a Oob to be under a Mr. Boo is almost non-existent. I'm fairly positive it is not possible. So this text does nothing. Unless it is an errata, unless it's a mistake, and it's supposed to be a Mr. Boo under an Oob, then that would be completely different. But this is my build that I have currently, and I only run the 3-drop Union Absorb because it's a better version of that. When this card attacks, you can use a mono blue card with a cost of 5k combo power from your drop in a combo that's skill gated. That's the only reason I'm playing this. They require your opponent to have so much Z energy. When your opponent can just spend the Z energy, it doesn't make sense to keep them. So I got rid of it. I'm throwing in the 4 Mr. Boos just so I can have more Mr. Boos in the deck to grab off the Hercule Searcher. The Goku and Oob, still a great card. Searches Saiyan or Earthling, which, I mean, it'll search the super combo, it'll search the Oob, the Goku, the Pan. It's a great searcher. And then you have the Mr. Satan to grab the Earthling or the Majin, so it's a neat deck, but it is not a good deck. So that hurts. Leave your just drop an F in the chat for Oob and Mr. Boo, because the deck is just not it. But hey, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Tell me, what are some of your favorite blue decks that you've played in the meta? Now, there's a couple that I would have liked to talk about more, but I just feel like these have been my favorites, and I will continue to work with these going forward. But until the next video, guys, take care.